Well, here's the problem. They're made in Poland. Let's listen to how the stock speakers perform. And so I've got a piece of music here. This is where I screwed up. I used copyrighted music, and I don't want to get a copyright strike from YouTube. So I'm going to describe what I'm doing in the video. I'm playing a 90s disco tune that has a lot of lows and a lot of extreme highs. And I've set the volume to 10 on the receiver, and you could see on the decibel meter that it was doing around 70 decibels. Now I'm going to turn the volume up to 30 on the receiver. So we're going from 10 to 30, and the sound gets quite loud. You can hear a tremendous amount of treble, but the bass is distortion. And we're at about 100 decibels with a level 30 on the receiver. But the sound has degenerated tremendously. Honestly, I have a hearing deficiency that's gotten worse as I'm getting older, and those high frequency sounds are really uncomfortable for me to hear. So I'm hoping that these Polk speakers are going to improve the sound quality. Here's an original Promaster speaker, and you'll see it's got 3 mounting holes. And if you look at the new Polk speaker, it's got 4. They're roughly the same size, but we need to adapt 4 mounting holes to 3 mounting holes. And luckily, Polk sends these neat adapters with the speakers. I'm going to trim the bracket so that it'll fit in the space for the Promaster, just by cutting off these 2 tips. Just like that is plenty trimmed. And now I'm going to mount the speaker in this adapter, and the adapter has little arrows, and those little arrows correspond to these notches in the speaker. So I want to line up those arrows with the notches. I want to kind of make sure that Polk is facing up, which means that I want this end of the bracket, the end I just trimmed, to kind of be on the downward side. So I'm lining up a whole bunch of things at once, which is kind of a pain. What you want to do is get one screw just partially in there and put it in the slot, and now the other screws will line up. And when you put these screws in, you don't want to go super tight. Just want them to be snug. I just want to close that gap between the bracket and the speaker. That's all I want to do. If I tighten them too tight, I'll actually end up stripping the plastic, and that won't be helpful. So just snug them and make sure that the gap is gone. Now I've got all 4 of my little Phillips head screws in, and I'm ready to install the speaker. Here's the speaker grill from the other side, and I'm showing you this so that you'll see where the little tabs are that hold it in. There's 2 tabs at the top, so there's 2 tabs up here. There's 1 tab right here somewhere, and then there's 2 more tabs at the bottom. There's no tab right here. Okay, so that's the Achilles heel. I'm going to take my pry tool, and I'm going to pry this out. What's nice about the pry tool is that it's softer than the plastic that I'm trying to pry out. And here I can feel it starting to go. And bang, there we go. Now I can pull it out the rest of the way, and there's our speaker. And you'll notice that the Polk speaker has a tweeter built in, and the Promaster speaker does not have a tweeter. That's because the tweeters are way up top in the A pillars, and what I'm going to show you later is how to disable those, because normally this type of speaker setup, it's called a component setup, and you'd buy 2 separate speakers. So the mid-range speaker and the tweeter would be separate, and we'd install them separately. But then you need a splitter. You need a thing that splits the frequencies to the tweeter and to the mid-range. And I don't want to deal with that part. I don't want to deal with finding a place to put that part, and I don't want to deal with adding any new wiring. So by getting this all in one speaker, I'm just going to disable that tweeter, and we should be good to go. You just remove these three Phillips head screws, and don't lose them because we're going to need them for putting in the other speaker. And here's another thing that you need to notice, and that is that this plug is on the front of the speaker, and the Polk, the connection is on the rear. So we're going to need to reroute that cable. We're also going to need a special cable that converts this plug to the Polk connections. So this wire comes in right behind here, and if you'll feel there's like a rubber grommet there, and I'm just going to pull this grommet down like that to create a gap. So I've created a little bit of space right here, and now I'm going to stuff this cable through that gap, and I just pull it through on the other side, so you can see that right there. And now I'm going to connect the connector, and now I'm just going to connect this to the speaker. 1 and 2 both connected. They are tight, but they're supposed to be, because we don't want them falling off. And so that's both of those connectors. And remember, this is the front position. So I'm gonna stick my speaker like that, and now I just put in those 3 screws. And again, these screws need to be snug, not super tight. If you try and tighten them too far, you're just going to end up stripping them, which is not good. They just need to be snug. Now that I've got the speaker in here, I'm going to disable that tweeter. The tweeter is located at the bottom of the A-pillar, and the only thing you need to do to get the A-pillar out is to remove these 2 covers, and the whole pillar pulls right out. Before you pull the A-pillar cover out, though, just make sure you understand where this gasket is in relation to the A-pillar, because we're going to have to put it back in the same way so that it looks nice. To get these covers off, you literally just push them really hard. And of course, this one doesn't want to come off now, but you just push it really hard. Let me try my trim tool. There we go. And they come right out. And now inside those covers, you're going to see a little nut with a washer attached. And we're just going to use our screwdriver to get those out. Once these nuts are out, that piece of trim just pulls right off. And down at the bottom, you can see the tweeter. And all I'm going to do is disconnect that plug. So now you can see this plug way down in here that I've disconnected. And that's just going to stay in there just like that. It'll be fine. And now I'm going to reinstall the trim piece, and I'm going to have to retuck this gasket to make it look nice. And reinstall those nuts. I did a quick test and the speaker's working great, so now I can put the grills back on. And all I'm going to do is line up those tabs and give them a good bonk to get them on. Easy peasy. Let's just remember, with the old speakers at a setting of 10, we were at around 70 decibels. Let's see where we're at now. Now I'm playing the same song again at a 10 on the receiver, and they're only doing around 60 decibels instead of 70. So it looks like we've lost 8 decibels. Now I'm turning it up to 30 again, and we can see that we definitely have lost 8 or 10 decibels at the high end, but there's no distortion in the bass, and the treble is nice and clear. So I think the reason why we lost 8 decibels is because the tweeters are in the doors now, and they're not in the A pillars. So they're not shooting that sound directly at where I'm measuring it. Also, those speakers, the new speakers, are supposed to be really efficient, and so I don't understand how we lost 8 decibels, but they're gone. The most important thing is that the sound is much clearer, and it doesn't hurt my ears to listen to it anymore. The other thing I'm mentioning here is that it's 2026, and I can't replace the head unit. And I can't replace the head unit because there are RAM Promaster settings that you access through that head unit, and mechanics can access even more settings. So we can't replace that yet. There will be a replacement eventually, but nobody's got a good interface to that. So someday we'll replace it. But for now, it'll be fine. In general, I'm happy with the new speakers. Could have been better, but anyway, if you have any comments, please leave them below. I'm happy to respond, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.